about Black, Latino, and Native American. When the Lord says that our kingdom is to come, as long as we follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
I got the camera bag, I'm the cameraman. If shit get inactive, I'ma stand it down. We taking ground, call the ambulance. That shit go.
Sometimes
if shit go,
the mic is
you best get right. Or you'll get you got that. That shit go. No problem, we'll handle it. Niggas acting hard, you better stand on it. We on every corner, we stamping it. You better give your life for this camp shit. We ain't playing around, there's no cowards, dog. If niggas charged up, you get powered off. Rude of speech, keep it raw. It ain't my fault that you niggas soft. It ain't my fault that these niggas frauds. It ain't my fault that them niggas rats. If your colors fly, you don't get that shit go. Right,
nah, yeah,
if shit go, you best get right, or you'll get you got that. That shit go right. If shit go, you best get right, or you'll get you got that right. That shit go.
Wanna go to war, gotta hop into the van. Tryna cut the scene of something you don't understand. Getting checked from my betterment, better take it like a man. Nigga, how you walk away for camp? If you willing to die, you better be willing to stand. Take a trip around the world, see a bunch of corners held by them UPK niggas. All them UPK niggas go to camp. And I'm on Shamar here hanging out the car window when I pull up straight to the battlefield. And I'ma make sure niggas make it back home. Say, nigga, what you thought? With anything moving, I be on. Gotta remind them we nothing like them niggas that you saw. If you hear back up, that'll be your last time to get out the way. The price to pay before.
That shit go.
Nah, for real though.
If shit go, you best get right, or you'll get you got that right. That shit go.
Nah, for real though.
If shit go, you best get right, or you'll get you got that.
How about to put y'all shot right there? Move that song! Move that song! Move that song! The Father we fear! The Father we fear! Yehovah! Israel! Israel! Israel!
Go, sir.
Oh, we good to go. All right. All right. Shalom, Israel. With the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group, nor any other Christian organization. We are not the Black Panther Party. All right. We are not these fake Israelites who went to Christianity. We're none of the sort. We are under commanding General Yohana, all right? And we've been established since 1969. And let me break that down to you since it's the history class, right? When we say the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge since 1969, when we say that 1969 part, that means the spirit of the Most High came back to the earth, to his people in 1969. For years and years and years, we knew who we were. Some of us knew who we were. Some of us knew that we came from the Jews. Some of us knew that we were the Israelites. But the spirit of the Most High God, that's what we lacked because of Christianity. We lacked it because of Islam. We lacked it because of Buddhism. We lacked it because we wanted to be so joined to America. We wanted to be so integrated into America. We wanted to be so liberal. We wanted to be so conservative. We wanted to be so democratic. We wanted to be so Republican. However, what you want to be is holy. If I can get that scripture, Leviticus, can I get Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26? All right, if you can, where it says, I have severed you from other people, because we're going to get into the scriptures of what it means to be holy. We're also going to get into the scriptures of this terrible dream. Since it's Black History Month, we're going to go into a little bit of Black history. And if you're so-called Latino or Native American, well, that you're also Black. All right. Let me go ahead and wake you up tonight. If you are Nativo Americano, if you come from the Creeks, if you come from the Muskegee, if you come from the Chickasaw, if you come from the Choctaw, if you come from the Cherokee, if you come from the Seminoles, if you come from the Pequot, if you come from the Wampanoag, you're Black. You're a Negro. How do I know? Historically speaking, we were classified as Negroes. You can look it up. You can look it up. I'm not going to bring that out tonight, but you can go ahead and look it up. If you're Latino, if you are Dominican, if you're Puerto Rican, if you're El Salvadorian, if you're Mexican, if you're Peruvian, you're Black. And listen, I don't know about when those Dominicans, they promise up and down they not Negro. Up and down they prove that. They were like, no, I'm Dominican. I'm not Black. I'm not Black. I'm not Negro. I'm Dominican. We all look at them like, really, nigga? Excuse my language. Really, Negro? Really? You not Black? All right, bro. All right. Listen, it'd be funny when I be talking to my Issachar brothers out there. And listen, I love my Mexican brothers. I'm like, you Black, right? They were like, no, I'm not Black. I'm not Black. I'm like, really? You're not Black? Really? You just put rims on your Cadillac the other day. I saw you. Well, what are we talking about, Chico? I saw you. You got the pit bull in the back. I saw you. What do you mean you're not Black? You literally got gold teeth. What are we talking about? Just like how King Solomon in the Bible had rows of jewels on his cheeks, which is talking about in his mouth. Yeah, King Solomon had grills. Like the Bible said we were supposed to be holy. We're supposed to be separate, right? Go ahead. Right. Afro-Latino. Right. Afro-Latino. That's what listen, literally classified. If you go on, if you're trying to get a job out here in America and you try and you look and you give them your resume, they're going to tell you during the process, what are you? Are you Latino? Or are you Hispanic? They'll say Hispanic. And then they'll say, are you non-white Hispanic? Because you're Black. You're Black. If you're Latino, if you're Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Peruvian, you are a non-white Hispanic. That's what you are, which means what? You're Black. Even the white man knows you're Black. That's why they ask you before you get the job. That's why they ask you before they give you Social Security. That's why they ask you before they give you the food stamps, and they ask you before they give you that government cheese and all the government assistance. They want to know if you Black or not. You trying to act like you're not Black and you Spanish. So like it. Go ahead, brother.
It's like it, sir, if I could. What the white man is actually doing is showing how big of a hypocrite when he does that, because he's asking them really, what color is your father?
Exactly. That's exactly what they're asking you. Give that brother a hand. Listen, that's exactly what the oppressors are asking you. So listen, we're gonna go about how this dream. You got that scripture out. Go ahead and read it for me.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me.
Mm-hmm. It says, thou shalt be holy. So one more time.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
And ye shall be holy unto me. Now, this is the Most High talking to the Israelites. Now, if you haven't known already, so-called Blacks and Latinos and Native Americans are the real Jews. They are the Israelites. You understand? And I'm going to get it to you. We're going to get into real quick. It says, say that one more time.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
It says, ye shall be holy unto me. Now, here's this book right here. Maybe y'all can see it, right? Now, this is called The Lost Tribes and Promised Lands, right? So I'm gonna give this to Officer Yaquab to read. And in the meantime, okay, I'm also going to put up on the screen, right, to prove to you that the Native Americans are the Israelites and the so-called white man knew that they were the Israelites. Since we talk in history, all right, and let me know when you get that. Go to the page. You know what page we're going to? Go ahead onto the front. Go to the front of the book. You should see it right there on the first page. Right there, you see. I want you to go to 364 and 365. I believe, or is it 364?
it starts at 363.
Right. Take me to 363, but I think I want you to go to 364.
Come on.
All right. We're going to get to it.
All right. On page 363.
And also, if you guys have any questions for tonight's class, of course, you can always ask your questions, okay? And I'll be able to get to your questions.
At 364.
You see what's highlighted?
Come on, sir.
All right, let me get it on the screen for the other brothers and sisters to see. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to maximize it first on my end. My computer's a little slow, so just bear with me, but I'm going to have it on the screen for y'all to see, because I'm going to prove to you in tonight's class that the so-called white man, our oppressors, right? They knew, and this is what Martin Luther King has been hiding from you for so many years. By joining us to America and integrating us into a burning building, Martin Luther King said himself, I fear that my dream has many points of becoming a nightmare, and I've integrated my people into a burning building. These were the words of Michael King, Orgy Mike, as we call him. And so we're going to go ahead. This is the information that you should have been learning. But because of us joining, because of MLK joining us to America, integrating us into America, all right, and of course, turning us out, right, turning us out to be the best Democrats and the best Republicans and the best conservatives and the best liberals is why you don't know this information. So you go ahead and read it from where it's highlighted.
Out of the Book of Lost Tribes and Promised Lands, page 364. The woman got off and spoke to Francisco in an Indian tongue that Montesinos could not understand.
So this was a tongue that they could not understand. They were speaking in a tongue that they could not understand, an Indian tongue that he could not understand. Now, Montesinos, right, he knew how to speak Hebrew. He would be a so-called Jewish man today. And he knew how to speak Hebrew, right? The Yiddish. He knew how to speak the Yiddish, Yiddish Hebrew, right? The Hebrew that has vowels in it. But continue.
Come. Although he could perceive that he was being identified in the conversation.
Even though they were speaking in an Indian tongue, he can somewhat understand that he was being identified. But now keep in mind, right? If there's an unknown tongue being spoken right next to you, it's extremely difficult to even try to perceive if that person is talking to you. How do I know? A lot of y'all sisters get y'all nails done by the Vietnamese and the Koreans and the Chinese. And you can't even tell if they're talking about you or not. And you're right there next to them. They're doing your feet and they're doing your nails. And you don't understand a lick of what they're saying. And you can't even perceive if they're talking about you or not. But somehow Montesinos can. I wonder why that is. I wonder why that is. Why is it that he could have kind of perceived that he was being talked about in the conversation? Please continue reading.
She then turned to her male companions to explain the situation.
So she turned to her male companions and explained the situation. Go ahead.
Upon hearing her words, they rose, went over to Montesinos, and to his utter astonishment said, Shema Yisrael.
It said, oh, wait a minute. It says, go ahead one more time. It was an astonishment.
Shema
Mm-hmm.
Yisrael.
Mm-hmm.
Adonai.
Mm-hmm.
Elohinu.
Uh-huh.
Adonai. Ehad.
Go ahead.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
If you say that in today's terms, how we teach it, the ancient Hebrew, that's Shema Yasha Allah, Yahweh Elohim Yahweh Yahweh Echad. All right? And that says that hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Continue reading.
They had recited in Hebrew the fundamental credo of Judaism.
Now, how do the Indians, the so-called Native Americans that have never seen the so-called white man before, know this credo? Can anybody tell me? This is what I have to ask some of you some of you fake Christians, fake Israelites out there, some of you Christian Israelites, I need to really know, how do we not know? How do the Native Americans know how to speak Hebrew when the Jewish man have never stepped foot in the Americas? They never stepped foot at this time in America. They never stepped foot in South America, Central America, North America at all. So how were they introduced to this, quote unquote, this credo of Judaism? Well, we about to find out. Go ahead and continue. Go down if you can. And I want you to, let me see if I can go here. I'm trying to see if I can, I think that's what I'm doing wrong here. I wonder if I can zoom. I don't think I can zoom in this way, huh? Yes, I can. There we go. All right, go ahead and read.
Come on.
The next highlighted portion. We're going to skip down.
They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben.
Now, wait a minute. Say that one more time.
They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben.
This is what they told him. Now, hey, Jewish man, I have a question for you. What tribe do you come from? I'll wait. I wish there was some Jewish people in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to know, Mr. Jewish man. You know, and by the way, I'm talking about the same Jewish man that Martin Luther King made deals with. I'm talking about the same Jewish man that MLK had his head so far up their tail.
Right.
I'm talking about that Jewish man. I'm talking about the Jewish man that, you know, these Christian pastors done deals with so they can make all the money and rob you every Sunday. I'm talking about that Jewish man. I'm talking about the Jewish man who runs Hollywood, who runs the pornography industry, right? And who believes in having sexual relations with children. I'm talking about someone like Epstein. I'm talking about you, Epstein. I don't think he's alive anymore. I think they knocked him off because he got caught.
Right. And
so they had to get rid of him. They said it was a suicide. Excuse my language, YouTube. But they said he unalived himself. Well, we know how our oppressors get down. He didn't unalive himself. Just like any quote unquote homicide, they always want to name it a suicide. Well, let me tell you something. I'm talking about you, Epstein. I'm talking about Jewish people like that. How is it that? How is it? Where tribe do you come from, Epstein? Rothschild. I wonder, huh? Rosenberg. You know what I'm saying? What Smith Serg? What tribe do you come from? Well, let me be candid with you. You don't come from any tribe. You don't come from any tribe. And I got evidence for that too tonight. you don't come from any tribe. But the Native Americans do come from a tribe. Continue, read that one more time.
They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben.
This is history, y'all. This is absolute history. Please continue.
And that the tribe of Joseph.
Now we have a second tribe in play. One more time.
And the tribe of Joseph.
Go ahead.
Lived on an island nearby.
So if you don't know who the tribe of Reuben is, this was taking place in the state of Florida. If y'all didn't know that, this was taking place in the state of Florida. Before it was the state of Florida, this was known as the Louisiana Territory. Okay. And so if you go to the bottom of Florida, and if you're from Florida, and if you ever been to Florida, that's Seminole Indian country right there. Like you see a bunch of signs about the Seminole Indians. If you go down 95, hit I-4, you'll see nothing but Native American names of the different cities and the towns. You understand? Because that's how heavily influenced Florida is in relation to the Seminole Indians.
Right.
There's a bunch of trails and resorts in relation to the Seminole Indians, and not just them, but the Choctaw, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, and the Cherokee. All right, and in the Muskogee, which is known as the Creeks. It's so heavily influenced in the state of Florida. Now, what island is across from the state of Florida? Can anyone tell me what island is actually you? If you go to the bottom of Florida, I believe that's where the three keys are, right? I think, or towards Miami and the three keys and all that, right? So if you go to Fort Lauderdale too, right? Am I getting that right? Or is that Fort Lauderdale a little to the right?
Fort Lauderdale is a little bit up, but it's
a little
up. It's a little bit up.
It's a little up though. Okay, never mind. So if you go towards the three keys and towards Miami for sure, right? Miami and the three keys and all there. Does anybody? Oh my, damn! They listen. Cuba. So guess who are Cubans? Read that one more time. Kadisha got it right. All right. Chuba McQuall got it right. All right. It said, well, not the Dominican. That okay. Dominican isn't right across from Florida. It's not right across. The Bahamas, not necessarily right across, but you can get to the Bahamas. You can. You guys are in the right spirit though. So read that one more time.
That the tribe of Joseph lived on an island nearby.
So the Cubans are from the what?
Tribe of Joseph.
The tribe of Joseph. Now, hold on. It said the tribe of Joseph. Who are the tribes of Joseph? Now, let's see who knows the Bible. Who are the tribes of Joseph? Let's see who knows the Bible. Because it said the tribes of Joseph. It said the tribe of Reuben and the tribes of Joseph. Okay? Anybody want to give it a shot? You know? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Ephraim and Manasseh. So he said Cuba and Puerto Rico are the children of Israel. So this right here is telling you that the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans are Israelites. Well, if the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans are Israelites, I can only take an educated guess. I can only make a synopsis that so is El Salvador. You know, so is the Dominican Republic. So are the Haitians. You understand? Oh, listen. Cuba is the first, right? Cuba is the first country. Hence why Castro sent his inmates on boats. Right. Cuba is the first one. So whoever said Cuba, absolutely right. So now, right, it says, are those 10? No, not his grandsons, Chuba McCall. Those would be his sons. So Joseph, the sons of Joseph was Manasseh and Ephraim. All right, which is Manasseh would be the so-called Cubans today, and Ephraim would be the so-called Puerto Ricans. I believe Manasseh actually consists of more. No. It is just Cuba, right? Right. Cuba. Yeah. It's just the Cubans. Wow. Now if we want to get into Naphtali in them, now we're talking about the El Salvadorians, the Panamanians, the Peruvians. So with the information we have right here, if the tribes of Joseph are right across the water from the tribe of Reuben, and it's saying the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans are the Israelites, then if you make an inference, let me use Officer Shamagabar's words. You know, I'm a little educated too, Officer Shamagabar. You know, I may not be no English major, but, you know, I'm a little educated. If we make an inference, right, you know, that means the Peruvians are Israelites, and the El Salvadorians and the Colombians and the Brazilians are Israelites, right? And the Haitians are Israelites, just like the people from the Bahamas. The Bahamas are Israelites. We can only make an educated guess from there. We can only, I believe this proves our hypothesis. You understand? So, which means when we say blacks and Latinos and Native Americans are God's chosen people, we can go to the Bible and tell you that we are the Israelites. We can prove it to you, right? That the 12 tribes of Israel are so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in the Bible. Let me remove this from the screen real quick. Is there any more on that? Please, actually, continue reading. I'm not going to remove it. Continue reading.
Come on, sir. However, on account of their need for education, for though they spoke Hebrew, they could not read or write it.
So so when you go into the Americas, right? We've been so far removed because we've been so far removed of our culture. Even though we wasn't able to write the Hebrew, we was able to speak it. There's no, that's why you don't see too many writings of Hebrew found in America. However, there have been some artifacts found of Hebrew artifacts, actually pretty old too, Actually, they found older artifacts of the Hebrew written in America than they did in Jerusalem. Please go ahead.
It's like it, sir, if I may. What further bikes up, well, you can say that conversation was taking place in Florida, in Tampa, Florida. There is a place called Ybor City that was started by the Cubans. There is an Italian restaurant in the middle of this little, it's a club area, 7th Avenue.
Yeah.
On this restaurant, there is a picture of the Taino Indians, the so-called children of Joseph, looking and pointing at the white man coming to the shore of Florida. And on the picture, the Indians were black.
Oh my God.
This is in Tampa, Florida.
Listen, I hope it's still, listen, I might have to take a trip there. If it's still there, we gotta go, brother.
On the wall. The city, Ybor City was started by the Cubans, the tribe of Manasseh, Reuben, and the Seminole Indians.
Right. Oh my God. Listen, give Officer Yaquab a hand. Listen, I'm about to take me a road trip. Now, if anyone doesn't know me, right? I love driving. I love road trips because growing up, my grandfather, we would drive everywhere. We the furthest we went was North Carolina, but we would drive everywhere. And my grandfather loved history. That's why history is so, I love history. I love reading books because my grandfather would just ask me questions about who's this and who's that and what's this and what's that while we're driving down the road. And guess what? Now we're here. I'm going to have to take a trip down to Florida and take a picture of that. Because what our oppressors end up doing is they'll end up having the truth right in front of our faces. And because we're so high and because we're so drunk and we're so abused and we're so sexualized, we just overlook it. Right. But if you could just not be sober, if you could just be sober for just one moment and start reading, if you just be sober just for a little while and just step outside and see the world outside, you'll be like, man, there's so much truth out here. There's so much truth. That's why our communities are flooded with drugs. That's why our oppressor poured drugs at a mass amount into our communities. So we wouldn't read this for what it really says. You understand? And so the point that I was making earlier, man. So like what I was making earlier when it comes to this right here, when we say the island across, right? We can use the Bible by itself to prove to you that so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Americans are God's chosen people. However, because you don't want to believe what we say, we got to go into actual history, which is no sweat. We can go into the actual white man's words and actual history recorded to teach you that so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Americans are the children of Israel. That is actually who we are, and not the so-called white man. All right. And so I'm gonna take this off the screen for the meantime, right? That's it on that. You can hand me the books. I can put it up here for display so brothers and sisters can see the names. All right. But we're gonna also get the let me see what else we're gonna get. Because please, can you finish reading Leviticus in the meantime?
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me.
There you go.
For I, the Most High, am holy.
Because so now we already proved to you that so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. So the Lord required us to be what?
And ye shall be holy unto me.
He required us to be holy unto him. Go ahead.
For I, the Most High, am holy.
Go ahead.
And have severed you from other people.
So God is holy, and the way to be holy, right, is to what? Sever.
And have severed you from other people.
This is how you become holy. This is something the Christian church won't teach you. This is something that Islam won't teach you. This is something that your Buddhism won't teach you. What Buddhism won't teach you, and what Christianity won't teach you, and what Islam won't teach you is how to be severed from other nations and races of people. If so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are God's chosen people, we must, and I mean we must, sever ourselves from other nations of people. We must. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. We must separate ourselves from other people. And I pray that every last one of you understand. So now I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go into the chosen people from the caucus. We're going to talk about the chosen people from the caucus. If you guys see this book right here, it's The Chosen, right? Written by Michael Bradley. I believe it's Michael Bradley. He's the author, which is a so-called white man. And he's going to talk about who the so-called Jew is. I mean, the so-called Jewish man is. We're going to find out who these Jewish people are. So we're going to go ahead and I want you to go to page. Let me see if I can I think I want you on you see the pages on the front written
Page 26.
Page 26, but actually start on page 25 for me. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get this on the screen too for you brothers and sisters. Now, I want you to understand, I'm not just pulling stuff, out of a hat. I'm not just pulling stuff, out of my tail. I've done diligent research over the years to be able to create this lesson. And I want you to understand that what I'm about to show you here is the truth. And this is what Martin Luther King has been hiding from us for so many years now. All right. And so go ahead and start where it's highlighted. I think it's 25, right? Where it says, please go ahead.
Chosen people from the caucus. The chosen people is the head of the chapter, and verse book page 25 is where we start.
Mm-hmm.
The lecture also pointed out that the vast majority of contemporary Jews have no historical or genetic relationship to ancient Palestine at all.
Read that one more time.
Come on. The lecture also pointed out that the vast majority of contemporary Jews have no historical or genetic relationship to ancient Palestine at all.
So these Jewish people who claim to be Jews, I ask you one more time, Mr. Jewish man, what tribe do you come from? What tribe do you come from, Mr. Jewish man? There are 12 tribes. There are 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. What tribe do you come from? I'll wait. I'll tell you, you don't come from any tribe. Continue. I'll tell you where you come from. Since you know so much, I'm gonna tell you where you come from. Since you don't know, since you think you come from the tribe of Judah, you think you come from the southern kingdom of Judah. I'll tell you where you really come from, please.
Most of them are descendants of Russian steppe.
You said, wait, whoa, said what?
Most of them are descendants of Russian steppe tribesmen.
Russian what?
Russian steppe tribesmen.
Rosenberg?
Russian steppe tribesmen.
Smithsburg?
Russian steppe tribesmen.
Czechoslovakia? What?
Russian steppe tribesmen.
That's who you Jewish people are, man. That's who you are. You don't listen. One more time.
Russian steppe tribesmen.
That's your Rothburgers right there. You understand? One more time.
Russian steppe tribesmen.
That's your Jeffrey Epsteins. One more time.
Russian steppe tribesmen.
That's where they come from. They come from the Caucasus Mountains, from Georgia, Russia. That's where they come from. I'm not making this up. This is actually in history. This is in the books right here. I want y'all to share this class to all your family. I shared the class to my family. Share it to your family so they can actually learn that the so-called Jewish man is the absolute devil that the Bible speaks of. They are not the real Jew. They don't come from the tribe of Judah. They know nothing about real Judaism. They know nothing about the Bible. They don't listen. They don't even descend. None of their history nor their genetic code comes from ancient Palestine. What's ancient Palestine? Israel, Yasha Allah, Prince of the Power. That's what I need to understand. Please, brother.
Sir, Officer Carlson Parsons in the 13th.
Right, right. Let's give Officer Carlson Parsons. They come from the 13th tribe. they the 13th son of Joseph that we never knew of. Right. The 13th son of Israel, of Jacob, that we never heard of before. Yeah, there was a stepbrother that we had. Listen, the Jewish man, our stepbrother, apparently. He's God damn. So like him, man. Listen, let me tell you something. Y'all don't know. Listen, the Christian church, you don't know the Bible. This is the kind of information that Martin Luther King was hiding from you. This is why we were never supposed to be integrated into America the way we are. We were never supposed to take on the religion of Christianity because this is the kind of information that's hidden from us. Understand? The Bible talks about to renounce the hidden things of dishonesty. Please give me 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 2 in the meantime, if you can. God, that's not even a scripture, brother. I didn't even put that in my notes. Actually, I didn't pull one scripture in my damn notes yet. Damn, I don't even know what I'm doing up here. I'm just going to be talking a bunch of smack tonight. All right, about Martin Luther King. I'm going to talk about the so-called Jewish man. I'm going to talk about how terrible these oppressors are. And whatever scripture comes to mind, I'm going to just say it. And if y'all got any scriptures, please. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 2. The Bible says to renounce the hidden things of dishonesty. Please, go ahead.
Come on. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 2. But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty.
It says what?
But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty.
If you are so-called Black, Latino, or Native American, you must renounce, meaning you must detest, meaning you must fall away from the what?
But have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty.
We're reading the hidden things of dishonesty right now in the chosen people of the caucus. We also read the hidden things, right? The hidden things of dishonesty, which was hidden from us in the lost tribes and promised lands. Like those are renouncing the hidden things of dishonesty. The hidden things of dishonesty is our oppressors teaching us that we were the Gentiles and teaching us that we were not the Jews and we were not the Israelites and you are nothing but a Negro. Well, I'm going to actually show you that the Negroes were Israelites. I'm going to show you that tonight too. I'm going to show you that the Negroes ruled Europe. I'm going to show you that the Negroes and the Jews, which are the Negroes, were just black people who ruled Europe. I'm going to prove that to you tonight too as well. Just because I can. Just because I can. You know, I just do things because I can. Some things I do. So like some things I can't say, hey, I can't, you know, let me not get myself in trouble. The general gonna be like, oh, I heard you just do things even though you can do it, huh? Listen, the Bible does say all things are lawful to me, but not expedient. However, tonight, this right here is expedient. Continue reading, please.
Come on. Not walking in craftiness.
One more time.
Not walking in craftiness.
You know what Christianity is? Christianity is craftiness. Christianity is absolute craftiness. So is Islam. So is Buddhism. So is Judaism, right? All of these are craftiness. You know what also is craftiness? The Republicans, the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, being so liberal, libertarianism, being so conservative, conservatism. All of that is craftiness, according to the Most High. How do I know? Because it tricks our people. It causes our people to oppress. We took on the religion of Christianity, and we reap none of the benefits of Christianity, but these Pharisees and Sadducees in charge up so far up our oppressor's tail. Like your TD Jakes and your Creflo Dollars and your give me some more, your Jamal Bryants. You know what I'm saying? Your Creflo Dollars, your Kirk Franklins, your Marvin Saps, who told the congregation that he needs this amount of money and everyone better give it tonight. You better close these doors because I want my money and I want it now because I'm a pimp for this white Jesus Christ named Caesar Borgia, the second son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome, a man who unalived his father. A man is the homosexual lover of Leonardo da Vinci, a man who had sex with his sister Lucretia Borgia. That's who they pimping for. I can't make this up. That is absolute history. Please continue.
Oh, come. Nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully.
Listen, brother, I forgot that was in there. Damn. Read that one more time. I forgot that was in the Bible.
Nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully.
So who holds the words of the Most High deceitfully? You're Christians. Who also holds the words of the Most High deceitfully? I'm not even going to say it. I want y'all to answer. We already said Christians. That's how the who else? And stay with me tonight. Stay with me tonight. I'll accept 2 more answers. Go ahead, Officer Yaquab.
The white man.
The so-called white man, but listen, be more specific.
The Jewish
There
man.
we go. The Jewish man holds the words of God deceitfully. You understand? Please, give me more.
Come. But by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of the Most High.
This is what needs to happen. Say that one more time.
But by manifestation of the truth.
The manifestation of the truth. This is what we must be. We must be the absolute manifestation of the truth. When you look at me on stage, when you look at Officer Yaquab on stage, we look at Officer Mataza Kara on stage, when you look at these beautiful sisters in the UPK, listen, the ISUPK, we have nothing but some beautiful sisters in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Y'all have never seen bad bitches before until you came into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. What some of y'all seen out there is a good nigga, Salaki. That's all you seen. But in the ISUPK, we got some bad sisters in here. Right. We got some good, bad sisters in here. You understand? And when you look at them sisters, you know that they are the manifestation of the truth. You understand? You know it. How they conduct themselves, how they listen. You understand? Please continue.
But by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience.
This is what needs to be in your conscience, meaning everything starts in your mind. Everything right here starts with your mind. You must manifest this truth. It starts with your mind, with your brain, please.
In the sight of the Most High.
In the sight of the Most High. So when the Most High is watching us and he's looking down on us, he knows the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we are the manifestation of the truth. I just wrote it to you in the Bible. It's right there in the Bible. Please take me back to the we're gonna get more on this Jewish man real quick. We're gonna get a little bit more on this Jewish man.
Most of them are descendants of Russian steppe tribesmen who were converted to Judaism in mass around 740 AD.
So around 740 AD. Now, brother, 740 AD. This is when the so-called white man, your Rothschilds and your Rothenbergers and your Rothbergs and your Czechoslovakias and whatever. This is when they became your Epsteins and your Dokensteins. This is when they became, their people became, this is when they practiced Judaism. This is when they became Jewish. Right here, 740 AD. 740 AD. That's when they became Jewish. Well, let's find out when we became Jews. Let's find out when we became. Listen, brother, I might have to. What time is it? It's 8:16. Listen, brother, I'm gonna get through all this right here, brother. Listen, I'm gonna get through all this tonight, brother. Please.
You want me to finish reading that while you looking for that the rest of this? Because it's about to
get oh yeah. Please continue, brother, and please forgive everyone out there in the audience. There's just so much to go over. I don't even know where to start, where to end. Class might end at 12 tonight. I don't know. I don't know. But we about to find out. All right. But please go ahead.
Being of highly aggressive. Caucasus.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot I highlighted that, brother. Say that one more time.
Being of highly aggressive. Caucasoid genetic stock.
Oh my God. So you know what? That Jewish man, right? Oh, wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute. There's something, I didn't even take a picture of this, but I believe it's in that book, brother, on that. But you don't got to go there right now, but I'm going to break this down, right? It says being of highly aggressive Caucasoid genetic stock. This is why Jewish people were involved in the slave trade, because they are aggressive Caucasoid genetic stock. That's who the Jewish man is. You want to know why the Jewish man runs Hollywood and Epstein had an island full of children with other white men and other rich people having sexual relations with children? is because they come from an aggressive Caucasoid genetic stock. That's why. You want to know why the Jewish man is so aggressive, is so evil, and so disgusting, and he is the head of Hollywood? I mean, the head of the pornography industry, right? And those sisters get brutalized, brother. Those sisters in there and those women, no matter what nationality you come from, listen, when you're in that industry, you get so abused, you get tossed around. You would have rather got put to absolute unalivement before you became a explicit content creator or some, as they call it, a porn star. That's right here. It's because they come from a highly aggressive Caucasoid genetic stock. There's another, I didn't highlight it, but it talks about them, if you can't get to it, if you can't find it, it talks about them being sexually aggressive.
It's kind of a concert.
You see it? Please. Listen. I don't know if I listen. Go ahead and read it if you found it, please.
Even comparing them to Arctic animals.
Oh,
on their sexual. Let me see. I'll start on this part right here if I could, sir. I'll start right here.
Please.
It says, on the other hand, Neanderthal women did not have to leave their caves so often, and indeed must have been largely confined to them by domestic and child rearing duties. In this case, some tactile stimulation could be preserved by insulating the women with fat rather than with fur. So Salakia, sir, is basically saying that the white men like their women fat and hairy.
That's exactly what they like. And then when they get them there, what do? They treat them like absolute trash. We've seen how the so-called YT man, our oppressors, treat those cave women and them Caucasoid women. We've seen it. They treat their women like absolute trash. But please go ahead.
Khan says, making them less hairy than their men and preserving skin that was a bit more naked in the interest of tactile stimulation. Basically saying it was a tactical, that like their sex was even tactical.
Yes, it was. The way they had this is when I say we're not having real sex today. If you're so-called Black, Latino, Native American, right? Because of Martin Luther King, because of Christianity, obviously because of our oppressors, we're not having real sex. We don't know what real sex looks like. The sex we're having now was tactical. It was to destroy us. It was to do us so much harm as a community and as a nation and as a race of people and as a family. We don't actually know how to have sex. We've been moving based on orgasms and climaxes. We have no idea what it means to really have sex. Now, I'm not talking about I'm not trying to get into details. I'm not talking about the positions and all the other type of stuff y'all doing in the bedroom. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fruits of thy labor. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fruits, right, of what comes from having sex. When we have sex, it was supposed to be an advantage for our people, meaning the sex we had was supposed to benefit our race of people. It was supposed to give us absolute supremacy on the face of the planet. The way the so-called white man has sex has given them absolute white supremacy over the planet. So if we're having sex like them and it makes us inferior and it makes them supreme to us, then maybe we should change how we have sex. Maybe we should stop interracial marriaging. What if I told you Martin Luther King's dream was a wet dream, and the only reason why he wanted to integrate Blacks and Latinos and Native Americans is so he can have sex with white prostitutes in the Watergate Hotel? That's why we call him Orgy Mike. He is Michael Orgy King. That's who he is. Orgy is his middle name. I don't know if y'all knew that. Orgy is his middle name. Go look it up. You're not going to find it, of course. But Michael Orgy King, that's his real name right there, right? Michael Orgy King. What if I told you that? The way we have sex is absolutely has removed us from the Most High. You understand? And what page are you reading off again? What page did I highlight?
Starting at page 59,
right?
The part with the sexual aggressor, and it gets
Right.
It goes into even more detail, but it'll
Right.
But you made your point already.
I did. I made it right there, right? Okay,
Con,
Con. So we can drop that, right? Okay, so go
Con,
back and continue reading what I still have on the screen for the brothers and sisters to see.
Common concept. Being of highly aggressive Caucasoid genetic stock, modern Jews could be expected to be highly aggressive in consequence.
Listen, so now these people are subjective to be aggressive in consequence. Continue reading.
Now, the Khazar conversation origin of most of modern Jewry is a fact discovered by Jewish scholars and a fact accepted by almost all Jewish scholars.
There you go. Shalom. Shalom. This was done by other Jewish people. So even other Jewish people knew. Even other Jewish people knew that their people do not come from ancient Palestine, and they are an aggressive people, and they're just terrible people. Other Jewish scholars knew that. Please, Officer Yaqua.
Salakia, sir. This is just so heavy, man. It is priest of powerful hand. Salakia, sir. Terry Crews is a 6'5", 6'6". Probably, this man probably has 1%, maybe, if that, percent of body fat.
Right.
He is all muscle. The brother is sculpted out of a rock.
Right.
A little 5'8" Jewish man walked up to this brother and grabbed his private part,
right,
his genitalia, in front of his wife in the middle of a party. This is how aggressive those people are. Sir.
Listen, bro, that's a heavy point.
And this heavy. Sir.
Listen, give Officer Yaqua a hand. That's a heavy point. I didn't even know that happened. Like, this is how sick these people are. That's why Jeffrey Epstein had a island. I mean, an island full of little girls and little boys being tortured and brutalized and sexualized and unalived. I mean, unalived. They literally, listen, there's stories. Now, we don't know if it's true or not. Now, if you know Officer Yarasamau, I don't care if it's true or not. I don't hold nothing past our so-called oppressors. I say it's true. I say it's true. Because you know what's crazy? You want to know how I know it's true? They did it to us. Like, we are the proof that they are doing that to them, that they did that to them little boys and little girls on Epstein's Island. I don't need the files, right? I don't need the files. You know why? You know why so many people want the files? Because you still have hope. You still have hope, and you still have trust and belief in this disgusting individual called a white man. You still have hope and faith in our oppressors. You have so much hope, have so much faith and loyalty to America. You want to see it for yourself. If you're so-called Black, Latino, Native American, you are the proof. You are the proof that they did it. Your uncle did it. Your uncle, listen, your uncle touched you. Your mom, she touched you. Your auntie, she brutalized, she sexualized you. She went into your room last night. She was drunk and high and started touching and filling up all over you at night. Your uncle did it. Your daddy did it. Your mommy did it. But you're telling me the white man didn't do it? That's crazy. Listen, if you're so-called Black, Latino American, or Native American, you are the proof that our oppressors did what they did on Epstein Island. They did it. All right. I'm off from that. Give me go ahead and get a Babylon, please. And I want you to go to 70 AD. I'm gonna prove to you when we became Jews. All right. Here's the proof that we were Jews. I'm gonna go ahead and get that for you, brothers and sisters, tonight too as well. What did Officer Yagadar say? So this explains the island. Right, this explains slavery. This explains the sexual abuse of our native brothers and sisters. Violence and sex go hand in hand with these people. Exactly. Listen, give Officer Yagadar a hand real quick. Damn right. This explains all of that. All right, that explains all of it. Let me see. In the meantime, let me see. I don't think it. I gotta refresh this real quick. Go ahead and you can start reading in the meantime. It should have sent. I just gotta refresh my page so I can get to it.
Trying to find what page you want to search.
Oh, go to the front where I have it written to. I have it written. I think it's page 80 something. You see on the front, all the way in the front. I have it highlighted too. It's like page 84, maybe.
I think I'm on 84.
Page. I think I want page. Let me see. I don't want page 90 yet. I want page 84, and I want you to start at 65 BC. Page 65.
Okay, I'm on. Okay, I got that with 84, and then
Yeah.
there's some other points in here if you want.
Okay, and listen, if you see any points there, brother, please, by all means.
Come on, sir. This is the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84.
Now, I'm about to have it on the screen in a bit, but this is Babylon and Timbuktu. We're going to get some history tonight, y'all. We're going to get some history tonight. This is all the information that we were failed, that the Christian leaders and black leadership failed to teach so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans because of Martin Luther King, because of Michael Orgy King. I promise you. Go ahead, please.
Come on, could. From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
Now this was, repeat that from the top.
In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
So in the year 65 BC. Now, do you remember the year that our oppressors became quote unquote Jews? 740 AD. This was 65 BC. Please continue.
In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state.
So it says put an end to the Jewish state. Now, when it says the Jewish state, we know that this isn't talking about the so-called Jewish man's Jewish state, because he didn't become a Jew or Jewish until when? 740 AD. So when it says Jewish state in this book and the time frame that we see it, this is how you know this is talking about the real Jews. Please, and it's going to continue.
With great slaughter.
When great slaughter. Now, I don't know if you know, but the Romans were the so-called white man, the so-called white T-man. The Romans were our oppressors, like Julius Caesar, right? And people like that, like your Pontius Pilate, like these were in Herod, which was from the, listen, brother, Salakia, Herod was an Edomite. Listen, give Officer Yaakov another hand. He brought an excellent class. Listen, King Herod came from Edom. He was an Edomite. Well, let me tell you something. The Jewish man, he's an Edomite. You understand? Julius Caesar, the Romans, they were Edomites. Your Pontius Pilate, they were Edomites, which are the so-called white T-man today. That's who they are. And it says they did what? With great slaughter.
It said with great slaughter.
This is what they did to Jerusalem. This is what they did to the Jews in Jerusalem. Go ahead.
During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
So the people, it says the what?
Many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
Because the people that were there, because we were so scattered, right? Amongst different empires, we were everywhere. We were already in Europe. We were already in going towards Turkey. We were also obviously in Jerusalem because that's where we are. So we were scattered. That's why Paul is writing letters to Ephesia in the Bible and Corinthia and Galatia and places like that, because we've been scattered amongst the Roman Empire. Please.
During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
It said what?
Over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
Now, if the Jews were white, why would they flee into Africa to get away from Roman persecution in a land full of dark-skinned people? We know that Africa, so-called Africa, which was conquered later on by Julius Africanus, who's what we're talking about right now. Pompey to Julius is talking about Julius Africanus right here. Julius Africanus beat Hannibal, right? And that's why Africa is called Africa. Well, if this was white people, then why did they flee into a continent full of dark-skinned people? That wouldn't make any sense, would it? Now, I know you're like, oh, well, that's such a basic argument. Well, it may be a basic argument, but I need you to really, really use your mind and really, really use your brain that this can't be talking about white people. This can't be talking about the disgusting, aggressive, sexual aggressive Caucasoid bunch. It can't be. It can't be talking about the Caucasoid, aggressive Caucasoid group of people. It's not. It can't be, please.
Fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
It said what?
Fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
Because the Jews were in slavery under the Romans. One more time.
Fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
By God. I have a question for you, so-called Jewish man, right? Before 740 AD, were your race of people ever conquered and oppressed by the Romans? Please. Before. Salaki, go ahead,
Salaki, sir. Man, listen, man, this is heavy, man. Jewish people, if you talk to them and you ask them, they will tell you,
yes,
we have never been in slavery. Never. They will say this. And when they say it proudly.
Listen, brother. Listen, give also Yaakov a hand. Listen, brother. The Jewish man would never admit that they were in slavery under anyone. But it says right here that Jews were under Roman persecution and slavery. So before 740 AD, Mr. Jewish man and Mrs. Jewish woman, were your people ever enslaved and persecuted by the Romans? No, they weren't. You know why? Because you were the Romans. You were Pontius Pilate. You were Julius Caesar. You were Julius Africanus. You were Pompey. You were Titus. That's who your people were. You understand? Please continue.
The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
Whoa. Repeat that one more time, brother.
The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
This is history right here. This is an historic document, historic literature stating that the Jews were, the slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Now, when it says Jewish, we know that this isn't talking about the Jewish man. Why? Because he didn't become a Jew until 740 AD. Well, let me prove to you, right? Of course, based on, I'm just using things in context, but you can't just become a Jew. You have to be born a Jew. That's why we read they converted to Judaism. They converted to Judaism, meaning the belief of the Jews. In the last book we read, it said converted to Judaism, right? Which means they never became, you can't become a Jew, you have to be born a Jew. They just took on our quote unquote beliefs, and they barely did that. They barely did that. So when it says black Jewish slaves, this must be talking about Jews. Right. Oh, yeah, listen, they just went through the Holocaust. Give that sister a hand. Listen, that's all the Jewish man did. The only thing they did was go through the Holocaust, which white scholars are coming out telling you that it wasn't even that bad. The Holocaust actually wasn't even that bad. Please, you want to say something, brother?
Sir, I don't mean to keep
Nah, please,
sir,
brother.
This is crazy because, listen, man, the thing about the Holocaust that's crazy, it was recorded.
Yes.
All of it.
All of it was recorded.
From day one to the end of it. All
Yes.
the way from the war that started behind it, it all was recorded.
Exactly.
So it's like, we seen like what? A couple people getting burnt in the oven, as they called it, and whatever. And they try to make that seem like they try to match the Holocaust. That one little bit of error in which other white people came to save other white people
20 years
with the whole world. You understand what I'm saying? It
Right.
was all recorded on tape, and they try to equate that as that fitting the Bible in some sort of way as them being persecuted or something.
Right. Give also Jacob a hand. I have a question for you, Mr. Jewish man, if you're listening tonight, because I know you're trying to find a way to flag my video. Ooh-wee. I know you're trying to find a way to flag my video. I have a question for you, Mr. Jewish man. Can you give me a time that during the Holocaust, that one of the Nazi soldiers took one of your people and castrated them and cut their body up and skinned them and ate them and made their body out to be merchandise of shoes and pocketbooks and shirts? Has any of your people suffered violence like that? No. Well, I can tell you a man who suffered something like that in my people, and he knew that he was a Jew. He came to find out that he was an Israelite. His name was Nat Turner. Nat Turner was castrated, skinned alive, and literally ate. He was eaten, and his body was made into merchandise like shoes, pocketbooks, hats, and clothes. I'm not making that up. You can literally look that up. That's Black history. Oh, dang, it's Black History Month. That's Black history. Look it up. Since it's Black History Month, look it up. Well, we're getting into Black history today. I'm gonna show you a little bit of Black history. Give me page 90. Because that's it on that, right? I don't gotta worry about Deuteronomy 28 at the moment.
That's it right there, sir.
Please give me we're gonna go ahead and get some more on this. Page 90. I'm gonna show you how excellent the Jews were. Let me see something here. Oh man, my computer's just moving a little slow. Go ahead and read it when you got it.
Come on.
Please.
From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 90. The Jews imported into the western part of Africa a superior material, educational, and moral culture soon after 300 AD. And this cultural advancement was not duplicated or exceeded until the ascendancy of the Mohammedan leader Mansa Kankan Musa of Mali in 1312 AD.
Okay, so read that from the top. I want the brothers and sisters to see it on the page. Hopefully y'all can see that a lot clear. Yeah, I think that's big enough for them to see. Read that one more time. It says what?
The Jews imported into the western part of Africa a superior material, educational, and moral culture soon after 300 AD.
Soon after what?
Soon after 300 AD.
So the Jews were in Africa in 300 AD. But the Jewish man before 740 AD was in Russia. They was in Russia. They were Russian converts. We just got that history, right? So this must be talking about who? Black people. This is talking about the Negroes right here. Please continue.
And this cultural advancement was not duplicated or exceeded until the ascendancy of the Mohammedan leader Mansa Kankan Musa of Mali in 1312 AD.
So it took them almost 10, I think that's about 9 centuries, maybe, if I'm doing my math right. If you do what, 13, yeah, about 10. So let's say 10 centuries. It took them 10 centuries to match us as a people. When it came to education, when it came to superior material education and moral culture, it took the Africans, right, and Muslims, because Mansa Musa was a Muslim, right, in relation to religion. Right. It took them 10 centuries to even match what we had going on. Please.
It's like this, sir. And one of the biggest things right there, besides the material and the educational, it says the moral culture.
Yes, the moral culture. It said what one time?
The moral culture.
It says the more. Give also Yaquab a hand. Listen, it says the moral culture, meaning we actually had something called morality. Our oppressors in these other nations and races of people, they do not have a sense of morality. And the only reason why they have a sense of morality the way they have now is simply because of Christianity. It's simply because of Constantine. If it wasn't for Constantine legislating Christianity in 340 AD, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, that he didn't even care for himself, right? They wouldn't have a moral compass whatsoever. They would not have a morality the way they have now whatsoever. Please continue. Skip down for me.
Come. The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribe.
It said what?
The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribe.
We're not African. If you're so-called black, Latino, and Native American, we are not African. There's over 50-something countries in Africa. Which one do you come from? You can't tell me because you're not African. But you are the people who are better than the Africans. You were the people who were far more advanced than the Africans and had an advantage over the so-called Africans. Please.
They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them.
Go ahead.
This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization. Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autochthonous population.
Yep. Go ahead.
In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers, potters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmiths, agriculturists, etc.
What Officer Yaquab just read is exactly who we are in America. If you are so-called black, Latino, Native American, you are this right here. The very same thing you were in Africa. This is what we were. This is what we are right now, today, in America. I kid you not. I kid you not. How do I know? Because blacks and Latinos, Native Americans, we are the most educated people on the face of America. Please go ahead.
And Colonel Khan, sir, Salakia, sir, if you can still see our influence today in Africa with the way they built their cities.
Yes.
Africa has 6 of the top best cities in the planet.
Right.
In the world. And it's all designed by what our knowledge and how we live.
Exactly.
They take the culture of they even have African people going around calling themselves American rappers.
Yeah.
They got the African 50 Cent. They got the African Jay-Z.
Right.
They got African Biggie Smalls. You know, they live and center their whole lifestyle around the so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians in America over there, sir.
Exactly. This is, and listen, give Officer Yaquab a hand. Salakia. Like, this is who we were. It talks about us being everything we are in America. We are your plumbers, and not just your plumbers, but we are the best plumbers. We are your best electricians. We are your best carpenters. We're your best hairstylists. We're your best engineers. We're your best computer scientists. We're your best astronauts. We're your best software techs. We're your best everything. You know what's crazy, y'all? Did you know black women are the backbone? Black and Latino and Native American women are the backbone to the medical industry. Did you know that? Did you know black women are the backbone of the education system? Did you know that, brother? If you look, I'm not making this up. Black women are the backbone to the educational system in America and the medical system. We are these hospitals. would not function without black women. How do I know? These senior citizen homes would not function without black women. How do I know? Because we're your CNAs, we're your medical assistants. They're your medical assistants. They're your medical assistants. They're your CNAs. They're your LPNs. They're your RNs. They're your nurse practitioners. They're your phlebotomists. They're your X-ray techs. These are who black women are in the medical industry. Every hospital would damn near suffer such a drought, and it would go to absolute hell if it wasn't for black women running those floors 12, 13, 14 plus hour shifts on those floors. I know there's an RN out there listening. I know there got to be some black RN right now probably tearing up with what I'm saying, because she knows she works 14 plus hours on that floor, and that floor would go to absolute hell if she wasn't there. How do I know? Because she gets called in every Sunday. She gets called in every Monday. She gets called in every Tuesday. She gets called in. Listen, Friday might be her day off. You know who they're calling? They're calling Shonda. Hey, Shonda, please, can you please come in? Can you just sacrifice a little time? We'll make sure we give you the right overtime hours. We know we messed up in times past. Can you do that? Oh my God, you're such a lifesaver. That's that. That's that. That's because of Shonda. Please, Officer
If I
Yakwa.
may, sir, the reason why, because even though Shonda does not want to be there, when she's on the job is all that matters.
Yes.
She does it to the best of her ability, and she knows how important it is to do her job.
Damn right.
She doesn't sit there and take your baby like the white monster here in Virginia for years, who have been delivering the babies of black women and breaking their bones.
Exactly.
She would not do that to a white woman and her child. She makes sure that the NICU is the NICU.
Damn right.
She makes sure that white baby is fed.
Damn
and
right.
If that white baby is born underweight, that baby gets the weight that it needs to be to come home.
That's right.
And the water to all of our sisters out
Damn
there.
right. Listen, give our sisters a hand, Officer Yakwa a hand. Listen, they know, because guess what? Our morality was far more advanced and superior to the morality of these so-called Africans. Listen, if you're a black woman, you shouldn't dare call yourself an African, because you know how important you are. You understand? You know, I've seen black women who are RNs and LPNs that run that medical floor like there's no tomorrow. And they will sit there and they will fight. They will fight for your life. They will. Not the doctor. They're going to fight for your life. They're going to make sure that you live. They're going to do all that they can so you live, no matter what race you are. That's because we are just a better people than these pieces of YT trash. You understand? Of these Caucasoid, sexual aggressive bunch. We're better than them. If you're a so-called black woman, you're better than any YT woman that ever walked on this face of the planet. You're better. If you're Latino or Native American, you are better than any YT woman who ever stepped foot on this planet. I promise you. I absolutely promise you. Exactly. The doctors be helpless without them. Exactly. That's right. Exactly. You understand? They would be helpless. Listen, that hospital would fall. Listen, the medical field in general would be absolutely nothing without the DNA in the cells of a black woman. How do I know? Henrietta Lacks. Look her up. Henrietta Lacks, the Hella cell. She's the reason why, that one black woman, she's the reason why we have vaccines today. Why we're able to fight the flu, we'll fight the cold, we can fight chickenpox, all that. She's the reason. She's the reason why you guys have great cosmetic care today. She's the reason. Henrietta Lacks. Look her up. From one black woman alone. What's that hospital in Baltimore? Johns Hopkins. Johns Hopkins Hospital wouldn't be the best cancer research hospital if it wasn't for Henrietta Lacks. If it wasn't for black women running those floors. You don't gotta believe me. The proof is all throughout America. You understand? I think that's it on that. That's it on that. We're gonna get some more. Okay. You can go ahead and can you actually hand me the highlighter real quick? I'm about to take another picture. All right, I'm gonna take another picture, and then in the meantime, Where is Nature Knows No Color Line? Is this up here? We're gonna get Nature Knows No Color Line. This is all the information MLK was hiding from you. You understand? Like this is what we're reading right now is going to break, right? Some of the stuff that we're reading right now, including the Bible, is going to rip apart white supremacy. Because Christianity, this is not Christianity we're teaching you. Christianity is the religion that fuels white supremacy. And if it wasn't for Martin Luther King integrating us into this burning building, this is information we would already know. We were supposed to know who we are. We were supposed to know how important it is to be a Jew. We were supposed to know how important it is to be an Israelite. You understand? It was important to know who we are and how we were supposed to be severed from other nations and races of people. Like this was the information we were supposed to know. But if it wasn't for MLK, Michael Orgy King, if it wasn't for him, we would know this information. This is why we say the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. The so-called white man, our oppressor, that comes from that sexual, aggressive Caucasoid flock, they used Martin Luther King and they capitalized off of the lust of Martin Luther King. Their lust is what runs their empire. Their filthy, disgusting lust is what made their empire great. But I'm here to tell you, black man, Latino, Native American man, and black woman, Latino and Native American women, that our lust can never make this. Listen, our lust isn't going to make us great, but our lust is going to make the so-called YT man great because their lust has become our lust. But knowing this information we're going to be teaching you tonight, have this. Actually, I'm gonna hand this to you. No, you two are. I'm gonna have this on standby for you, right? All right. If we separate from America and if we keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments, and we know that we are the chosen people of God, then maybe we can build us up and we can build up our empire and we can build up our society and maybe we can be great. And once you read, what book I gave you? I want you on page.
Nature Knows No Color Line.
I think I want you on page 72.
Come on, I'm there.
You already there? Okay, I'm gonna get it on the screen for everyone to see. All right, because I'm gonna show you a few things in Nature Knows No Color Line. All right, y'all bear with me. I might be going a little bit over time, but I want you guys to get this information. All right, I want you guys to really have this information. So please go ahead and read it when you got it. I think I have it on the screen for everyone to see. I think they should be able to see that.
Coming from the book of Nature Knows No Color Line, chapter the Negro as a Moor, Negro ancestry in the white race. Okay, it says Moor, the race as it occurs in European heraldry, always means Negro.
So let me tell you something. So when you see those black Moors out there with the red hat or whatever the hell they are, those aren't Moors. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know what the hell they're doing. The word Moor either comes from being Moroccan, meaning you actually come from Morocco, right? As a Moroccan in the continent of Africa, or the term Moor just meant what?
Moor, the race as it occurs in European heraldry, always means Negro.
It just meant Negro. Well, who are the Negroes? Black people in America. Who are the Negroes? The Latinos in Central and South America. Who are the Negroes? The Native Americans who didn't go into those reservations and enslaved by our oppressor. That's who were called Negro. Was the YT man ever called a Negro? Actually, I have a question. To you Jewish people out there, were you ever called Negro? No. Were you ever called a Moor? No. Continue reading.
The Greeks, as was said, used morals to mean black or dark.
Go ahead.
And the Romans used it for Negroes.
So moros and Moor, they're similar words. And they were the Romans and the Greeks used it as Negroes. Go ahead.
Woolly hair like a Moor's, says Marshall.
So woolly hair like Moors, right, says Marshall. Guess who had woolly hair? Can anybody guess who had woolly hair? And if y'all could just stay with me in tonight's class too, right? Who had woolly hair in history? Can anybody tell me who had woolly hair in history? In the meantime, brother, drop that for a quick second. Keep that page open. And I want you to go to page 28 for me right here. Can anybody online? There was a man who had woolly hair. Can anybody tell me the man in history who had woolly hair? Can anybody tell me that? Give Trooper McQuall Ya'Allah a hand. He said Christ. Yes, Jesus Christ and history. He had woolly hair. Well, let's do a little bit of right. Well, black people definitely had woolly hair. That's true. Yahushua, exactly. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ had woolly hair, which means Jesus Christ would have been called a Moor. Jesus Christ would have been called a Negro. Now, Jesus Christ. Oh, you know what? I might be skipping a little bit ahead. Hold on. Let I'm gonna just let you read it. Let me get the page that I want for you. I want that on the screen for brothers and sisters to see as well. I don't want to overstep. Let me see something real quick. I want you to read what's highlighted for me, please. I might have to I'm gonna re-highlight this later so it can be seen. Please. I'm gonna show you history about a man who had woolly hair, who would have been called a Negro today, who lived during the Roman Empire. Jesus Christ, Yahushua Mashiach, he lived during the time of the Romans. And we just read out of the book, Nature Knows No Color Line, that the Greeks and the Romans called Moorish people who look black Negro. They use it as Negro, which means Jesus Christ in the empire of the Roman Empire would have been a Negro. It's right here. But please continue reading. Go ahead and read.
Okay, from the book An Introduction to Medieval Europe, 300 to 1500, page 28. It says, his message was therefore, repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand.
Now, this is historic documentation about Jesus Christ. This isn't, we're not in the Bible right now. We are actually reading historical documentation recorded of Jesus Christ. Because Jesus Christ, Yahushua Mashiach, he was indeed a real man who walked the planet. Please.
It was a message meant especially for Jews.
Say what?
It was a message meant especially for Jews.
Now, we didn't read the Bible yet. This is historic evidence right here that his message was strictly for the Jews. It was a message especially for Jews. Well, we know the Jews are black. Now remember, this is recorded history. Now, Jesus Christ was alive around 30 to 33 AD. Around 30 to 33 AD. That's recorded history. Well, before 740 AD, the so-called Jewish men were just Russians. You understand? So this means this book must be, so these Jews must be talking about who? Negroes, black people. Please go ahead.
There is no adequate reason to suppose that he thought of a Gentile mission.
Oh my God. Say that one more time.
There is no adequate reason to suppose that he thought of a Gentile mission.
So this is not in the Bible yet, but this is proof right here that Jesus Christ, his mission had nothing to do with Gentiles. Please.
Still, less of a Gentile Christianity divorced from Judaism.
There you go. Because here's the message. Jesus Christ's message was always for the Israelites. It was always for the Jews. It was never for the Gentiles, within context, other races and nations of people. How do I know? Because Jesus Christ was holy. And so because Jesus Christ was holy, how did God say for us to be holy? We must be severed from other nations of people. We read that in the Bible in the beginning of class. You understand? Please continue.
Opinions differ as to whether Jesus believed himself to be the Messiah, who was to deliver his people, the agent of God in establishing the new kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
But many of his immediate followers took him for the Jewish Messiah.
So his followers who followed Jesus, which was Peter, John, Bartholomew, Thomas, etc. These were men, Simon. These are men who believed that this was the Messiah, meaning this man was the anointed. Please.
Thus, when at Jerusalem, he was first publicly proclaimed as the inaugurator of the expected new era.
What's that new era? The New Testament. That new era was an era of falling away, right? From falling away from Roman practice, from falling away from Grecian practice, falling away from the cultures and the traditions of another nation of people. Please.
It was inevitable that he should be looked upon by the authorities as a dangerous and fanatical revolutionist.
One more time. Ooh-wee.
It was inevitable that he should be looked upon by the authorities as a dangerous and fanatical revolutionist.
Jesus Christ was black. Jesus Christ would be known as a so-called black Hebrew Israelite. That's who Jesus Christ was. Jesus Christ was a revolutionary. He was dangerous. He was a radical. He was a soldier. That's who Jesus Christ was. That's who Yahweh Shai Mashiach was. He wasn't no feminine, soft, white tea man, some oppressor who wore some Roman toga. Jesus Christ wore a garment down to the foot. You understand? With a golden girdle war belt. Like if it was a WWE SmackDown Raw cage match. You understand? That's what Jesus Christ would have looked, is what he looked like. Please go ahead.
So, Larkin, sir, if I may, that is one West in the Bible.
That is one West. Give that brother a hand. That is one West. That is the spirit of the Most High that was brought back and put back onto the earth in 1969. You understand? Yes, he was that big dog. Please continue.
Come. About to disrupt the well-established order of things.
So he was there to destroy the order of things, because Jesus Christ. Now we're gonna drop that. We good on that right there. I just wanted to show y'all a black man with woolly hair. With context, we can go into the Bible, right? But I'm trying to not hold y'all too long. I know we started a little bit late, but we're gonna go a little bit past time so we can get to. I think I have like maybe a little bit more pictures to show. And I think I went through all the books except for the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. And so before you go back, you know what? I just want you to read this. I don't have to put this on the screen. I just want you to read it. Go to Ham.
Ham.
Yep, go to Ham in the Compact Bible Dictionary. I'm going to further prove to you that the Jews, all right, the Jews, the so-called Negro. We are not Africans. We are not so-called Africans according to the Bible. This is what that's the point that I wanted to make in this book right here. When reading medieval Europe, this is what Jesus Christ wanted to disrupt. Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, he wanted to disrupt Martin Luther King. He wanted to disrupt men like Martin Luther King and T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar, who followed after Martin Luther King, Michael Orgy King. Because Martin Luther King would have been a modern day Pharisee and a Sadducee. That's who Martin Luther King would have been. Our oppressor capitalized off of MLK's lust. That's Black history. He was so lustful and he was so down bad for white women that the white man saw it as an opportunity to destroy the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American community. Before Martin Luther King, Christian pastors believed that a Black man should not be with a white woman, and Blacks, Latinos, Native American men should marry amongst their people and their people alone. There was a pastor back in the day. A pastor even said himself, you don't have to go outside your people to get a woman. We have chalk to charcoal. We got varieties of women. You don't have to go outside your race to get another woman. But Martin Luther King is why a lot of our brothers to this day chase after YT women, which is so disgusting and which doesn't give our people the advantage that the Lord intended us to have by keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Now, everything that I'm speaking tonight, you're wondering, well, Officer Yaraj, why haven't you pulled too many scriptures? Because that's going to be tomorrow. You understand? That's going to be tomorrow. I just got to get the history out the way. You know what I'm saying? The part 2 is tomorrow. We're going to get into the actual scriptures, all right? And it's going to be named, I should have named this part 1, and then I'm going to do a part 2, and I'm going to get deep into the scriptures of what I'm talking about, all right? Of Martin Luther King being a dreamer of dreams and a talebearer and all of that, all right? Please, go ahead and read Ham.
This is out of the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 213. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood.
That's right.
And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood.
That's right.
He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negro.
It said what?
Not the Negro.
It said what?
Not the Negro.
Listen, he's not the progenitor of the Negroes. Ham is the progenitor of the Oh, you know what? Continue reading.
But the Egyptians, Ethiopian,
African,
Libyan,
African,
and Canaanites.
African. These are Africans. That's who Ham is the progenitor of, which means we have to either come from 2 people, Shem or Japheth. The Negroes must either come from Shem or Japheth. Well, since we did the research and we already pulled that out, right? We come from Shem. We come from the line of Shem down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. His name became Israel. He had 12 sons, and we became the Israelites. That's why you was able to find Reuben in Florida, and across the island away, you saw the Cubans being Manasseh and the Puerto Ricans being Ephraim. We proved it to you in the beginning of class. I had to get that out the way first. All right. So now, what do I want next? Let me see. Because I know I said I have that, brother. I want you to go back to Nature Knows No Color Line, and I want you to continue where we left off.
Come. All right. This is Nature Knows No Color Lines. The Negro as a Moor. It says Antigar says that to the Greeks, Romans, and Gauls, the Moors were known as the black people.
Say, whoa, brother, did I highlight that?
Right.
Damn.
Come to a concert.
I forgot I highlighted that, brother. Read that one more time.
Antigar says that the Greeks, Romans, and Gauls, the Moors were known as the black people.
They were known as black people. You know who Africans were never known as? Black people. You want to know who the Ethiopians were never known as? Black people. The Ethiopians were barely known as black people. The so-called Africans in Africa, they were barely known as black people. But the Moors, the Jews, they for sure were known as black people. Go ahead.
Moor, therefore, was the equivalent of Negro.
So if you were called Moor, you understand? If you were called Moor back in times past, during the times of medieval Europe and during the times of the Dark Ages, then you were known as a Negro. In today's time, you would be called a Nigga.
Salakia, sir.
Please.
If I could just give you, sir, nigger or niger in the Zondervan.
Please.
If I could, sir.
Please, just read it. Damn right.
I got it highlighted in my book. Salakia, sir.
Oh yeah, the water sis. I just want to make sure y'all got this lesson out. And so brothers and sisters can know who they are, what they are, and where they come from.
Salakia, sir.
And it's not over yet. It's not over yet. There's some more coming. We're almost out of here too. I'm gonna show y'all a few slides.
Okay.
Please.
This is also in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
This is the on page 399, the word Niger.
Now, of course, we're saying Niger because if we said it how it's actually pronounced, it would be considered a racial slur today. But Niger is actually spelled or pronounced how Nigger would be spelled. Please continue.
A surname of Simeon, one of the 5 prophets and teachers of the church of Antioch, who were led of the Lord to send forth Paul and Barnabas on the first missionary journey.
That was Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Please. Listen. Let me tell you something. Go to Acts chapter 13, verse 1 real quick. Listen. Did you know that Paul and Simeon and Barnabas was called Niger? They were called Nigger. I'm gonna prove to you in the Bible that that's what they were called. Please. And I don't know if y'all noticed, right? I have yet to pull some crazy outlandish scripture. This is all milk scriptures right here. Milk and history. That's all you need. For all you brothers out there, officers that are out there, troopers who aspire to be officers, all you need is milk and a little bit of history. You understand? Please.
The book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger.
One more time.
That was called Niger.
Listen, they were called Negro. They were called black. You understand? Niger. That's it on that YouTube. They were called black. That's what they were. They were called Negro because the people in the Bible are black. There's no running away from it. They were not some sexually aggressive, mad aggressive people who came from the Caucasus of the mountains of Georgia. You understand? Who converted to Judaism in 740 AD, which have no trace of historical and genetic lines of ancient Palestine, which is Israel, which is a portion of Israel. All right. So please, I don't think there's any reading on this part, right? So actually, no, you know what? There may be. Go to the pages. I'm gonna go ahead and get this on the screen for the brothers and sisters. I'm gonna get some documentation for them. All right, I'm gonna show you now. This is during Europe. I'm gonna show y'all a few things. Now now go ahead and read the top of the page for them, brother. The first highlighted portion where it talks about the Negroes and coat of arms of noble families. Do you see it? You might have to kind of like skim through it. It's going to be like a pictures. But while the brothers, but while the
you want Slocky, sir? Which part you want me to read? The part where it starts off and it says Negro ancestry in the white race.
Well, take me to the page where it says Negroes and coats of arms of noble families, where you see a list of pictures.
Come on, Con, I'm right there.
Okay, please.
Page 76.
Yes.
It says Negroes and coats of arms of noble families. Blackmore.
Now, go ahead.
Argent and fest between 3 Blackmores. Heads erased, sable, those of, and it stops right there.
So now we're going to stop right there. I want y'all to see right here on the screen, right? These are black people. Now, you see this picture? I'm trying to zoom in as much as possible. What do y'all see there? Can anybody tell me, what do y'all see there on that picture? Now, this book is talking about the Moors, who are Negroes and black people. What do you see in that picture? Now, if you see on the screen too, that's the page I want you at real quick, if you can. And maybe you can see it too, but you can see it on the screen as well. Anybody want to give it a shot? You see lions. What else do you see? What's the most important thing that you see? Please.
I see the shield.
You see the shield of David. Give Officer Yaquab a hand. Give Officer Yagadar a hand. Right? You see the Magan Dawada, the shield of David, which means these Moors that the book is talking about and the black people that they're talking about in this book must be who? They must be the Jews. Right? They were black, right? They were royal black families in England that did not get a lot of respect until King George and Queen Charlotte. Right. Give that sister a hand. That's true. Well, guess what? I'm gonna give you some more information. They were the Jews. These black royal families, right, out in Scotland and Ireland and Germany, they were Jews. Here's the proof. These are coat of arms with the shield of David, which people know as today the Star of David, but it's actually the shield of David. Let me give you another one, just so you guys are not, so you guys don't think I'm fibbing. All right, here goes another one. And you see that? These are black. These are black people that you see right here. These are black people. You understand? I'm gonna go ahead. Let me see if I can get the I'm gonna go to another. Please, you have something to say?
Like you, sir. If I may, sir, all of this is proof too concerning with King James. He was from one of these royal families.
Yes, they were.
And the thing about it, in his very signet, it says House of Jacob.
Listen, give that brother a hand. And this is the book. Right. And this is the book right here. So I want you to go to page 88. Go to page 88 for me. And I want you to read the bottom of that page.
Come. It says Negroes in coats of arms of noble families. German families. Note the Negroes, upper left, wearing crowns and the archbishop's mitre.
Does anybody know what a mitre is? A mitre is what the priest would wear, and they would wrap it around their heads. And so you'll see, right? If you'll see right here, if you delve in, right? If you just, I don't think I can zoom in that. Can I zoom in that far? It's trying to move. I may not be able to zoom in that far. But if you look at that screen, you see those two little strings from the brother. You see where the brother, you can see where the mitre is. That's a mitre. And you can see the tail of the mitre kind of blowing in the wind in that picture. The same, the mitres I love wearing. That's why there's two tails. If they're long enough, you'll have two tails going down your back. And you would either, if it's windy, because they took the picture or whatever, or drew the picture, it will kind of blow in the wind if you're not careful. That's what that is. All right, that's proof that, and here we go. What else do we see in that picture? Once again, we see the shield of David. We see it right here. This is proof that black people are the Jews, the Negroes, blacks and Latinos and Native Americans, because blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans were classified as what? Negro, which means blacks and Latinos and Native Americans ruled what? Europe. Exactly. Right here. Here's the proof. Here's the absolute proof. And I think let me see. Let me pull one more. I think I got one more in here. Let's go to page 96. We're going to get some more on this right here.
Salakia, sir.
Please.
And if I could, the sister Khadijah Mitchell, she mentioned Queen Charlotte.
Right.
Queen Charlotte is on the cover of this book.
Oh, damn. Salaki, I forgot about that. Listen, can I see the book real quick?
Here's her page inside of the book.
Right.
She's on the cover as well.
Right. Listen, I knew I got the book for a reason, brother. That's my fault. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna take this down off the screen real quick so we can prove what the sister give Sister Khadijah a hand. All right. And so here we go, right here. Right. This is Queen Charlotte on the face of this book. This book is called Nature Knows No Color Lie. Right here. And then, of course, it's literally in the book. You can see it right here. Open your eyes. It's right there. All right. And I want you to go to page
Like
the next page over on page 90. Was it 90? What did I say? 96? What did I say? 96. I would like 96.
It's 96, sir.
Right. And so on page 96, if y'all see on the screen, I'm gonna zoom in. Read the bottom.
Come. German. Note the Negroes lower with crowns and the bishop's mitre.
So now the bishop's mitre, right? So you see right here, you see how you see that mitre? Now this is a better foundation of it. You see the mitre? You see how he's wearing a crown, and you see that mitre in the middle, right? You see how that's what you would wrap around your head. That's what you would, please.
Salakia, they even have the ladder, Jacob's ladder.
Listen, brother. You beat me to the punch. Listen, they even have Jacob's ladder, right? Jacob's ladder on the shield. I'm gonna move a little to the right. Now this is around 1421, 1443. This one is 1412, and 1421. You see the shields of David. You see the shields of David to the right. It's kind of cut off, but you see them shields of David. And then in the middle of it, what do you see? You see the mitre again. That's what you would wrap around your head. You understand? Like, this is our culture. And exactly right. Exactly. And England at the time didn't want her as queen either. That's how, and eventually, historically speaking, that's how Queen Elizabeth and her people got into power. First, it was black kings and black queens ruling Europe. And then eventually those oppressors like King Henry and them, and the Queen Elizabeth family, the royal family that we know today, that all you black people sobered over because they passed away or whatever the case may be. They are not the rightful rulers of Europe. Like our oppressor, they are the devil the Bible speaks of. All right. And so how much time I got? It's 9:24, right? All right, listen, I think I held y'all long enough, pretty much. I know I started class a little late, but hopefully I was able to get did I get through all the books? Babylon and Timbuktu, Chosen People from the Caucasus, Lost Tribes of Promised Land. I went through the Bible technically a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. So I think we good to go. Let's please, Officer Yaquan.
If I could just stick my Latino brothers in there,
Yes.
not Tazar.
Right.
He has an affinity of love for his.
Oh yeah.
So I have to show them in the Bible dictionary their color.
Please.
And watch this, sir. This is going to blow your mind.
Please.
This is the word ready. This is what the word ready means in the Bible. Okay. Gotta back it up a little bit. My sight.
No problem.
It says ready. A word used to refer to a red or fair complexion, in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews.
There you go. Give Officer Yaquab a hand. That's your Puerto Ricans, your Cubans, your Colombians. Let me tell you something. The Bible says Ephraim is like a cake unturned. You understand? Which means we come in different shades of brown. You understand? That's why you'll see you'll see like a real white brown. You'll see them being a sandy brown or even a orange brown if you go into Mexico. And you'll also see, as far as dark skin, when you go into Mexico and Puerto Rico and Cuba and etc. If you go to South and Central in Mexico right now, North America, if you go to South America, Central America, and Mexico, you would think that you just walked into a black neighborhood. You'll be surprised. You're like, dang, I had no idea y'all were out here this deep. A lot of those Mexicans, you're like, they not all Issachar look like the way we know Issachar. There's other Issacharites that also have real Negroid features as well, especially when you go into the midst of them too. But they all come from the same people. That's what you got to understand. Because as blacks and Latinos and Native Americans, we can make different flavors. You understand? Because the Bible says, for the Lord made us a special people unto himself. That's what the Bible says in Deuteronomy 7:6. But I'm not going to hold it too long. The water for your time. And I'm going to pass the class to Precinct Officer 50 Yaquab.
These are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Started out of 1 West, 125th, 5th Street, Harlem, New York. Roof for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for a year. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After a year, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew, Ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. You want to go to the ISUPK.com, go up, it's in the left corner, it's a blue box that says donations or tithes. You want to go there, click that, and send your donations or your tithes. Again, that's the ISUPK.com website. All right. The priest fund, that's a free will offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations is
The Feast of Purim, March 2nd.
March 2nd. All right. So y'all want to look around on the bulletin boards and get up with your camp leaders to see what you need to have or do so we can get that rocking. All right. If any brother wants to come into the school to be a trooper, you need to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. Any sisters looking to come into school, you need to have a head wrap and a modest dress. All right. And with that, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yadamitah. So I turn to the sisters, Imajim, which means to stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
One more time.
Yahweh Shema Hashem Yahushua. Yadamitah. Class dismissed.
Damn right.
It's that time of year. We're going to be in Houston, Texas from April 1st to April 5th, celebrating the Lord's 57th annual Passover under Commanding General Yohana. Jam-packed, full of events, line dancing, fishing, horseback riding, rides for the kids, bounce houses, and the annual lamb slaughter held at the BH Ranch. And it ain't no party like the all-black party, the annual all-black party. 14149 Player Street in Houston, Texas. You know it's gonna be lit. All leading up to Saturday, April 4th, the Lord's 57th annual Passover. You still got time. Go to ISUPK.com to pay your Passover fee. 18 and over, $200. You do not want to miss the Lord's 57th annual Passover. Houston, Texas. Shalom.